Hey, are you doing anything this weekend? If not, then you should go and sign up for the Pokken Weekly FFC 39 happening this Sunday, December 6th at 2 p.m. EST. This end of the year, there will be a $100 prize pool. You heard that right. $100. So go sign up. Just join the main Pokken Discord server, go to the weekly tournaments chat, and bam, you're in. I will be both streaming and commentating the event, and who knows, I may bring a special commentator for this event. You never know, fam. Anyway, FFC 39 this Sunday. Now go, sign up, and enjoy the rest of the video. Not many people go out of their way to pick up and master Empoleon in Pokken Tournament DX. But the few players who are able to pilot this jet of a character can make him look like one of the craziest characters. Coming all the way back from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Empoleon is a water and steel type Pokemon, and one of the 3 starters for Gen 4. But before we slide into more detail about the Penguin Emperor himself, let me introduce you to the Empoleon pilot and the 2018 World Champion, Jukum.
Hi, I am Meme Kid Extraordinaire Jukum. I've only eaten 3 fruits, think eggs are vegetables, and I like to drop kick people out of the stratosphere. Also, I think I'm a pretty decent Empoleon player. Empoleon is a mixture of a rushdown and zoner character, having moves that complement one another that allow him to zone in order to get in. Much of Empoleon's damage comes from chip damage, and he has many setups to guarantee chip damage that often guarantee at least 30 HP for each special move, while remaining far away or plus when up close. This is notable, since he has many moves that knock the opponent down or go into each other in such a way that the opponent has to take chip damage guaranteed. Empoleon also has plenty of big buttons, so while his mid-range and anti-airs aren't as good as other characters, options like 8x, 4x, and Drill Peck are still very effective at locking the opponent down if you get the right reads. He is definitely a very momentum-based character, being able to get a lot off of small exchanges, and benefits a lot from keeping the opponent in duel phase instead of going back to field phase.
Empoleon is definitely a unique character, and I can also see how much pressure he can give off when he's at the advantage. But what are his main tools to gain that advantage?
Empoleon's main button is his 5A, Aqua Jet, a move that pressures and punishes the opponent from far away while getting up close. This move is based on time, meaning the longer the move has been out, the stronger it is, with 3 different levels, all being very useful in their own ways depending on the situation. Level 3 is obviously the best, dealing the most damage and being able to combo into most of his kit, like Rock Smash. JY, a move that complements Aqua Jet, is a good zoning tool thanks to projectiles shot out, but because of the spin hitbox he gains, it's also very useful for getting in after a slide. And speaking of slide, Empoleon can enter a sliding stance with JX, Ice Beam, or 2X. Sliding allows Empoleon to use certain other moves while sliding around and being helpful in getting away or rushing in. Another tool Empoleon has is Defog, his Foray. Defog can delete projectiles on startup and is his most reliable move when it comes to allowing him to use his Pokemon follow-up moves. Aqua Jet and Drill Peck can also do this. Empoleon has useful follow-up moves off of these called Cut, Rock Smash, Waterfall, and Surf.
Well, now we know who the HM slave of this game is.
Cut can intercept jumps while getting knockdowns, Rock Smash is a counter that pierces and gives the opponent a defense debuff, Waterfall, his fastest follow-up, can anti-air or finish combos, and Surf is immune to lows, deletes projectiles, and can be cancelled before the hitbox comes out with R, or whatever your block button is.
Don't forget that Empoleon's height and distance changes depending on how late you press R after using Surf.
The last move I want to talk about is Empoleon's JA, Steel Wing. This is a counter-pacing move that looks like it's one hit, but jumping at the opponent at certain angles, you can land a second hit, allowing you to chip your opponent for up to 90 HP. Other useful tools for controlling the momentum include 8x, 4x, Ice Beam, and Drill Peck, but we'll talk about those later.
Man, Empoleon's tools really complement each other in a very solid way. But to start us off, how is Empoleon's field phase?
Empoleon has an average field phase, possessing the tools needed to deal with most opponents. Previously mentioned moves like Defog, Aqua Jet, Ice Beam, and Steel Wing are useful here, but his field exclusive moves are also really good. For starters, while Empoleon hates airborne opponents in duel phase, he actually has lots of options to hit them out of the air in field phase. Homing attack hits extremely high and can usually combo into the rest of itself, and Back-Y is a true anti-air, making him unironically better at dealing with opponents in the air than other characters in this phase. Back-Y can pop opponents up close and afar, leading to things like Homing Attack, Ice Beam, Forward Y, Aqua Jet, and 1 or 2 more Back-Ys to help combo into the previously mentioned moves better. Empoleon also has an extremely useful Side Y. While using it willy-nilly can lead to it being punished, it's best used to get out of the way of other projectile attacks while creating a slow wall to help Empoleon's approach.
Side Y also has a somewhat high priority against other projectiles, making them all around useful for defense and to get in.
JX can lock down opponents and lead to a mix-up with Steel Wing if they expect it and try to counter it. You can also cross them up with JX if they try reacting to the move itself. Also, landing JX and transitioning into Slide is very useful, and there's a way to get that consistently by surf canceling off of a level 3 Aqua Jet. It's in general a very powerful tool. Other notable moves include Neutral Y, JY, and Back X with its Slide follow-ups, which can all lock down opponents in their own different ways.
His field phase seems to be pretty solid. But what are things that Empoleon can do to stay this solid in the duel phase?
Empoleon's goal in duel phase is dependent on what the opponent is using. Against zoners, his main priority is to get in their face, which can be done with moves such as JY, Defog, and Aqua Jet. Once in their face, and this also applies with other characters, but especially for zoners, it's key to get lots of chip with Steel Wing or Hydro Cannon while maintaining a lead. One wrong guess can end with Empoleon being full screen again, so getting as much damage as possible is important. Chandler and Gardevoir in particular can keep Empoleon out very well, so this is incredibly important for them specifically. Empoleon's goal in duel phase is dependent on what the opponent is using. When fighting characters like Machamp, Blastoise, or Charizard, Empoleon can zone effectively with JY, Ice Beam, and his reverse Slide Y projectiles, which move slow and are more grounded compared to JY. Afterwards, continuing to zone or deciding to rush in with Slide after knockdown are both valid options. With most other characters though, it's a mixture of both. When up close, Empoleon's game plan can be summarized as trying to extend his advantage after winning one good interaction through chip and callouts. The previously mentioned Hydro Cannon and Steel Wing are the most useful for dealing lots of chip, but all of his Pokemon moves do a bunch of damage on blocks. Blastoise and Charizard notably get hit by 2 Steel Wing hits from very close to the ground, making Empoleon around +8 while doing so much chip damage. When it comes to mix-ups during advantage, Defog and Jolpeck are great options. Defog is great due to being able to do a follow-up on reaction to what the opponent is doing, such as doing Rock Smash if you see them using a counterattack.
Rock Smash is also great as an Oki when not using Hydro Cannon or Steel Wing, since it deals chip and leaves Empoleon plus.
Meanwhile, Drill Peck is a frame 11 move that hits all around Empoleon, making it great for catching jumps or if the opponent decides to press a button after blocking an attack. It's also an amazing get-off-me tool. When in mid-range, Empoleon's options are limited in comparison to close and far range. That said, Aqua Jet is still very useful, but 4X and 8X are also great. 4X catches jump-ins and can also get Empoleon out of the way of an attack before retaliating. 8X is simply a multi-hitting attack that pushes him forward and catches jumps. 2X is another good move for mid-range. It's a quick move that confirms into 5X and can help Empoleon get out of the corner with the jump. 2X also avoids highs, which helps him get in against certain attacks, like Mewtwo's Psycho Cut or Hyper Beam or Pikachu Libre's Discharge. A lot of the time, Empoleon wants to stay in, but on certain occasions where he wants to move back, sliding back normally or with X is great. Times you want to use that would be for Machamp and Charizard to start zoning again. Empoleon all around is very momentum and movement based. He can slide away, forward, or over opponents to keep them on their toes while having a barrage of useful up close and far away options. His chip damage is insane enough to the point where most of the damage an opponent takes during a match can come from that alone, and a defense debuff given from Rock Smash can make them explode after 2 interactions.
Empoleon sure has a couple of cool options to fight off both zoners and close quarter characters alike, but what are some combos that you can use in case you find an opening?
To start off, in field phase, Neutral Y into Aqua Jet is a very safe confirm. You can also surf cancel in the JX to keep up momentum as you set up a slide for duel phase. Another field move that's good for combos is Back Y, which can go into level 3 Aqua Jet when in range or projectile attacks like Ice Beam or Forward Y from far away. It also combos into homing attack up close, but it's possible to confirm into another Back Y to set up for level 3 Aqua Jet, dealing more damage and giving a debuff with Rock Smash. In duel phase, Empoleon's counterattack confirm can push the opponent far back. While there's a lot of character-specific things related to combos with this, there are 2 easy confirms. Both of these confirms depend on the opponent's height, but they both start off with counter into 5YX, 5X. For taller characters after the 5X, you can Ice Beam into JY before finishing with 2Y Aqua Jet Waterfall. On shorter characters, it's better to perform another 5YX, 5X. Then after that, 6Y Aqua Jet Waterfall. This does less damage than the one against taller characters, but it's still very useful. When it comes to very common combos, Empoleon is known for his fancy wall combo, which can be confirmed off of many moves, including Cut, Steel Wing, 8X, etc. Afterwards, you can perform 2X into 5Y, or just 5Y depending on the character, into Defog. Once Defog lands, it then goes into Surf, but a cancelled Surf, which is followed up by JY. Finish it, a timed Defog in the Waterfall causes a phase shift. Dropping the combo after JY can also create a great chip setup with slides reverse Y into Aqua Jet. When it comes to difficult combos, landing JX and Duel in general can be hard. You can combo into 2X if the opponent is against the wall. Comes a very tight Steel Wing, like instant. Then comes Defog into JY like a normal wall combo. You can follow up with a timed 5Y into level 1 Aqua Jet Waterfall, This does 264 damage, and it's just a small example of PSP management with Empoleon. Also, real quick, look at this dumb shield break set with the belt on. I love it so much, though it only reliably works in big size, but it's sick!
Those are some pretty clean looking combos. But now, let's talk about the part of Empoleon that not many people mention. How does Empoleon's burst mode affect him?
Empoleon's burst doesn't change too much compared to others, besides the obvious benefits of any burst, but those changes are very significant. First off, Aqua Jet is level 3 at all times. In fact, it's even better than level 3. On hit, they freeze a bit longer than normal, allowing for new combo routes that involve canceling Surf into JX, similar to how it can be done in field phase. Defog is also amped, being only -8 on block with no follow-up. This, in turn, makes the follow-ups come out faster. It also stuns them on hit, granting more types of combos, such as with 5Y. Finally, there's his burst attack, Deep Blue Monarch. It's a grab like Gengar and Mewtwo's, but unlike theirs, it isn't invincible frame 1, and is way slower. On the bright side, it hits all around Empoleon and lingers a bit, meaning if the opponent is in the air as the move comes out and lands a bit later, whether in front, to the side, or behind Empoleon, they'll be hit. Aqua Jet and Defog, since they stun, can also cancel and combo into Deep Blue Monarch. Jopa can also cancel into his burst attack, but considering on block it take like 55 frames in total for it to come out, yeah. Deep Blue Monarch is also great for tick throws with 5YY, 2Y, Defog, Aqua Jet, and a few other moves. Though if Empoleon whiffs, he can get punished very hard due to getting crit by most attacks and the time it takes for him to recover being extremely long.
Deep Blue Monarch. Now that is a name for an ultimate attack. But like we all know, Empoleon has some weaknesses. What are they?
Well, for starters, his mid-range and anti-air moves range from average to awful. He has to commit more than other characters when it comes to beating those who go into the air a lot, whether that's calling people out with Drill Peck, 8X, or JY, or counterattacking at the correct time. Supports like Snivy, Labrys, and Rotom can help with this a lot. This commitment issue extends to dealing with constant pressure in the corner. Empoleon has to try slightly more than others to get out, so it's not so bad in the long run once you understand him. For example, Steel Wind's back hit after a cross-up can push him out of the corner if given a chance. Umbreon and Fennekin can also assist him well for one that struggles with this in general. With all things considered, Empoleon is a very defensive character who waits until the perfect moment to strike, capitalizing on even the smallest mistakes and getting a lot as a reward.
So why did you pick up Empoleon even after seeing all the weaknesses that he has?
My reason for picking up Empoleon is really just because I love Empoleon a lot as a character. He was my starter choice when I played through the Sinnoh games, and I grew up with the Sinnoh games along with Emerald, and that's reflected in me choosing the Pokemon I love like Sceptile and Empoleon. As the only good Karen would say, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, that's only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with their favorites. That is also my motto, to be completely frank. Being serious though, he's a challenging character to use effectively, and that can be very personally rewarding if one is interested in that. Empoleon is very unique with his rushdown but also zoner game plan, and people who like both can enjoy him a lot once they realize how to use either most effectively.
It is true that challenges can make characters more interesting. And for the people interested in playing Empoleon, where should they look?
You can learn a lot from the Empoleon Discord. It has lots of info for combos, tech, lots of stuff really. And there's a lot of Empoleon players in there who are very willing to help out any newbies. There's also lots of sets from people like me, Lemon, Santa, and Paris from Japan that one can watch to understand him better. Finally, there's his frame data on the frame data sheet, listing all his moves, how they function, and what frame advantage they leave him, stuff like that.
Well, thank you for coming, Jukum.
Yee! No problem, dude. Am I allowed to show my Twitter? Please?
Sure, man. Go right ahead.
At JukumFTC. You can also find me on Twitch as JukumFTC and on YouTube as just Jukum.
You heard the guy. Go follow and subscribe to him. And also, if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you also subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and like the video if you enjoyed the video as well. It's been a while since I posted Pokken content, and while these videos take a long time to make, I do appreciate all the support that you guys have given me. Just keep an eye out. Without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.